Welcome to Hero Villains. In your opinion, Superman Prime versus Dr. Manhattan. A confrontation between two ultimate icons of their respective universes. On one side is Superman Prime, the ultimate version of the Man of Steel. The one who bathed in the light of the sun for thousands of years, transcending every limit of the Kryptonian species to become an almost omnipotent entity. One who once lifted a mass equivalent to the universe and personally rewove the timeline. On the other side is Dr. Manhattan, the physicist who became a god after a laboratory accident. The only quantum entity capable of seeing the past, present, and future simultaneously. One who can create life, destroy worlds, and manipulate reality like a programmer editing the source code of the universe. When the power of the sun clashes with quantum power, when will confronts inevitability, who will be the last one standing?
Superman Prime 1 million. He is Kal-El, the original Superman of Earth. But Kal-El, after tens of thousands of years of existence, witnessing the passing of everyone he loved and evolving himself into a high-level cosmic entity. At the end of the 20th century, after suffering irreparable losses and realizing that his continued presence on Earth was unintentionally holding back the natural development of humanity, he made a painful decision to leave the planet he had sworn to protect. He flew into the core of the sun, sealing himself inside a prison of fire and thermonuclear radiation, beginning a journey of meditation and energy absorption that lasted for 15,000 years. Throughout those 15 millennia, his Kryptonian body constantly mutated, adapted, and assimilated the primordial energy of the Sunday. When he emerged in the 853rd century, he was no longer simply an alien with superpower. He had become a golden god, an entity woven from light and will, carrying the power of a star and the wisdom of a sage who had contemplated the entirety of history. The power of Superman Prime 1 million far exceeds any conventional measure. His body is a living thermonuclear reactor, continuously absorbing, storing, and converting solar energy on a level that even the most powerful Kryptonians, such as Superman of the 20th century or the Eradicator, could never imagine. His golden skin is not merely an impenetrable layer of armor, but also an energy absorption matrix, allowing him to withstand supernova explosions, fly through the cores of black holes, and exist unharmed within the most extreme environments of the multiverse. Superman Prime at his peak possesses astonishing strength. Even without using any additional sources of enhanced energy, his power can still be classified as low multiversal level. One of the most prominent pieces of evidence for this capability is his victory over Sinmar, one of the most dangerous threats ever to appear throughout Superman's journey. Sinmar was described as an enemy whose power far surpassed every opponent Superman had faced before. According to official information from DC Comics, this threat exceeded the limits Superman had ever known, including famous opponents such as Darkseid, Doomsday, Imperiex Prime, and Dominus. Superman even realized that he was facing a completely different level of physical power, far beyond the scale of his previous battles. Superman Prime was still able to defeat Sinmar through his own abilities. This achievement shows that Superman's strength at his peak had reached an extremely high level, sufficient to confront forces capable of directly affecting the structure of reality. When this victory is considered alongside Superman's battles against Doomsday, Darkseid, Imperiex Prime, and Dominus, Superman also possesses even more impressive feats. He has been described as powerful enough to destroy the entire Phantom Zone, a unique region within the system of realms that make up the DC cosmology. The Phantom Zone is not merely an ordinary prison dimension, but is also associated with vast concepts such as the Antiverse, the Dark Universe, and the Void. It is a space of extraordinary scale, and the Phantom Zone has also been described as a void connected to the formation and destruction of multiple realities. Neron once created countless realities in order to imprison Superman's soul. Therefore, when considering all of these feats together, Superman Prime's power is not limited to his ability to unleash tremendously powerful attack. What is even more frightening is that he can affect structures of existence on a scale far beyond a single universe. That power is sufficient to destroy the entire multiverse. Superman has previously demonstrated power that surpassed even the anti-life equation, one of the most terrifying sources of power, especially when considering Superman's condition at the time. He had been severely weakened after being poisoned by multiple forms of kryptonite from different realities. His body had nearly reached its limit of endurance, yet even in that state, the anti-life equation still could not kill Superman, despite its energy continuously consuming every cell in his body. The anti-life equation is not simply a source of power on a universal scale. It is described as a source of power with multiversal scope, while also being the dark half opposed to the power of the source. Darkseid once declared that the anti-life equation was the end of reality itself. Based on this description, the anti-life equation has the potential to threaten the entire structure of the God Sphere, a system of existence vastly greater than the conventional multiverse. The God Sphere contains multiple dimensions on a multiversal scale, making the power of the anti-life equation particularly dangerous. Yet Superman's ability to resist this energy, even while weakened, demonstrates his incredible survivability and endurance. Another piece of evidence comes from Parallax. Superman was so powerful that Parallax could not easily possess his body. Even during their confrontation, Superman was able to overpower Parallax through sheer physical strength. This is especially noteworthy because even Ganthet himself was once unable to stop Parallax from carrying out a possession. Ganthet was considered one of the most powerful Guardians, possessing strength and knowledge far beyond most other members of the Green Lantern Corps. Superman has even demonstrated power comparable to Umbrax, a living entity on a galactic scale. Umbrax is particularly dangerous because it not only possesses immense power, but is also directly connected to the entire emotional spectrum. When Earth possessed the power of a living entity, its strength had reached a level at which even a White Lantern was incapable of completely stopping Umbrax. Therefore, the fact that a weakened Superman could still contend with this entity is an impressive feat. This shows that Superman Prime now possesses a vastly superior power foundation. The factor that truly elevates Superman Prime into the ranks of the most powerful entities in DC Comics is the event in which he merged with the power of the Fifth Dimension. The Fifth Dimension is the realm inhabited by reality, warping magical entities such as Mr. Mxyzptlk and Bat-Mite. In this dimension, everything is governed by imagination and will. After defeating and redeeming Mr. Mxyzptlk, Superman Prime was granted a portion of the power of the Fifth Dimension, transforming him into an entity capable of manipulating reality. He can create life from nothingness, resurrect dead planets, rewrite the laws of physics, and turn even the most abstract thoughts into physical reality. This ability makes him more than just a warrior. He is a creator, a god capable of reshaping the universe according to his will with nothing more than a wave of his hand. Superman Prime carries within him a great heart, but one marked by the scars of time. He has lived for far too long, witnessing the rise and fall of countless civilizations, stars, and universes. One of his greatest and most brutal battles was his war against Solaris, the tyrant Sunday. Solaris is a gigantic artificial intelligence, a mechanical star carrying a deep hatred for Superman and the Kryptonian bloodline. Solaris spent thousands of years plotting to destroy Earth and the Sun, culminating in the launch of a nanovirus into the core of the Sun, intending to transform the mother star of the solar system into a gigantic nuclear bomb that would explode and wipe out the entire Milky Way. Another battle was his war against Imperiex Prime, the embodiment of destruction and entropy in the universe. Imperiex is an ancient entity so powerful that even Darkseid and the New Gods were forced to fear him. Imperiex carries the power of the Big Bang within him, and his purpose is to wipe out the multiverse in order to restart a new cycle of creation. During the Our Worlds at War event, Superman Prime 1 Million played a crucial role in confronting this destructive entity. Although Imperiex possessed enough power to blow away thousands of galaxies with a single breath, Superman Prime proved that the strength of will and reality warping abilities granted by the Fifth Dimension could stand against even entropy itself. He worked alongside other cosmic entities, using his limitless ability to absorb and convert energy to deflect Imperix's conceptual attacks, protecting the fundamental structure of the multiverse from total collapse. Superman Prime has also confronted threats originating from the timeline itself and from abstract entities. He has traveled across countless parallel universes, faced darker versions of himself, and even stood against the deterministic laws of the universe.
I sincerely hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us tremendously, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Now, let's move on to Dr. Manhattan. John Osterman was a brilliant but somewhat introverted nuclear physicist. In 1959, during an experiment at the Gila Flats facility, John was accidentally trapped inside the intrinsic field subtractor chamber, a machine designed to remove the intrinsic field, the fundamental force that holds matter together. John's body was torn apart at the subatomic level, completely erased from physical reality. However, his consciousness did not disappear. Instead, it wandered through the quantum sea, learning how to reassemble every quark, every electron, and every strand of energy. After several weeks, John Osterman reconstructed his own body, but he was no longer a flesh and blood human being. He had become Dr. Manhattan, a glowing blue, naked entity with no biological needs, no need for food or sleep, and absolute control over the fundamental structure of matter throughout the universe. Dr. Manhattan's power originates from his ability to perceive and manipulate the universe at the quantum level. He does not see the world with ordinary eyes. Instead, he perceives everything as energy fields, particle wave probabilities, and atomic connections. This allows him to perform feats that would make even magical gods envious. He can disintegrate any form of matter into dust, transform lead into gold, create glass castles on Mars with nothing more than a thought, and duplicate his body into thousands of independent entities while maintaining a single consciousness. His size is not fixed. He can shrink down to the size of an atom or grow large enough to embrace an entire planet. He does not need to move in the conventional physical sense. He simply shifts his quantum coordinates from point A to point B, rendering concepts such as speed, distance, and spatial barriers meaningless. However, Dr. Manhattan's most terrifying and complex ability is the way he experiences time. To Manhattan, the past, present, and future are not a linear flow. He experiences every moment of his life simultaneously, all at once. He sees the moment he was born, the moment he was disintegrated, and the moment the universe collapses, all occurring in parallel within his consciousness. Dr. Manhattan is an entity infused with the connecting energy of the source, a source of power representing the positive aspects and creative potential of the universe. This is also the opposing force to crisis energy, which is associated with the destruction and upheaval of the structure of the universe. Manhattan's ability to absorb and wield this energy pushed his power far beyond its previous limits. His control over matter and energy reaches the quantum level, allowing him to affect structures on a subatomic scale. The scope of his power is so immense that many characters have regarded Manhattan as a god. What is particularly remarkable is that the true limits of this power have never been completely defined. Everything Manhattan has demonstrated only reveals a very small portion of his true potential. To Manhattan, time is not a continuous flow, but more like a complete structure that can be observed from multiple perspectives. More importantly, this ability can also be transferred to others, allowing them to perceive different timelines and understand the existence of multiple possibilities unfolding simultaneously. In the Doomsday Clock event, Manhattan's abilities related to time and reality were demonstrated on an extraordinary scale. He was capable of directly affecting timelines, even creating or erasing entire timelines. This shows that Manhattan's power is not limited to altering a specific event, but can also affect the entire historical structure of a reality. Because of his unique nature, Manhattan can travel through time and create new branches of history. A single alteration in the past can lead to the formation of an entirely different timeline. From Manhattan's own perspective, the limitations of time no longer seem to hold their conventional meaning. Manhattan can even exist simultaneously across multiple timelines and intervene in events unfolding in different realities. His power does not stop at the scope of a single universe, but can also affect the metaverse, the foundational structure connecting multiple realities. In addition, John can create separate forms of existence detached from his primary body. These manifestations can operate independently, observe their surroundings, and perceive events taking place around them. Manhattan also possesses the ability to teleport, disappearing from one location and appearing somewhere else almost instantaneously without having to traverse the physical distance between them. Manhattan's ability to control energy is also extremely remarkable. He can generate electricity, transfer energy to others through direct contact, and control the flow of energy at will. When combined with his abilities to manipulate matter, perceive time, teleport, split his own existence, and affect reality, Dr. Manhattan becomes an entity capable of transcending conventional limitations. He has interfered with the timeline, stolen 10 years from the history of the DC Universe, and created the Flashpoint event and the New 52 universe simply to observe how a universe without hope, stripped of its core emotional connections, would respond and repair itself. This ability to manipulate the metaverse proves that Dr. Manhattan does not merely control matter. In the original Watchmen universe, he did not have many enemies in the traditional sense because no one could actually touch him. His greatest conflict was with Ozymandias, Adrian Veidt. Ozymandias did not fight Manhattan with his fists, but with intelligence and psychology. Veidt exploited Manhattan's indifference toward humanity, manipulating him through fears of radiation-induced cancer, and ultimately used a multi-dimensional creature to distract the Quantum God's attention, forcing Manhattan to leave Earth. In one confrontation, Dr. Manhattan encountered Darkseid, the tyrant of apocalypse and embodiment of evil and despair, who recognized Manhattan's presence and desired to seize his quantum power in order to rewrite reality in the image of the anti-life equation. During this encounter, Manhattan proved that his power surpassed even that of the new gods. He did not fight Darkseid with energy blasts, but by analyzing and dismantling the very conceptual nature of Darkseid. Manhattan realized that evil and despair were merely states of energy and probability, and that he could rewrite them. In Doomsday Clock, Manhattan confronted the entire DC universe, including Batman, Superman, and various magical entities. He created a tachyon field to conceal his vision from prophetic entities, standing outside and observing whether Superman was an entity created by the universe itself to protect it. Dr. Manhattan once made one of his most controversial decisions when he killed Rorschach, after Ozymandias carried out what seemed to be an impossible plan. Ozymandias orchestrated a fake attack from outside Earth in order to make the world's superpowers believe that humanity was facing a common threat. To carry out his scheme, Ozymandias transported a gigantic creature with a bizarre octopus-like form through a spatial gateway and brought it to New York. The creature emitted a psychic shockwave with a devastating range, killing approximately 3 to 8 million people in New York and the surrounding areas. Dr. Manhattan then intervened in this chain of events by eliminating each alternative possibility in history, thereby erasing the realities formed from different decisions. Manhattan's power is not demonstrated solely through combat. In Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan #4. He once used a very small fraction of his energy as a catalyst to accelerate the evolutionary process of an alien species. Manhattan's danger is also demonstrated by the reaction of Mr. Mxyzptlk, an entity from the 5th dimension. In Doomsday Clock #9, Manhattan directly faced multiple heroes at once, including Shazam, Stargirl, 3 Green Lanterns, Supergirl, and Captain Atom. Despite being subjected to a barrage of consecutive attacks, he was not defeated in the conventional sense. However, the damage was severe enough to force Manhattan to reconstruct his body. Manhattan's body is composed of connecting energy, a form of energy that was later used to enhance the power of the Justice League during their battle against Perpetua in her fully empowered state. The scale of that battle was so immense that the released energy was capable of scorching the sun itself. Even more notably, when Manhattan's energy was combined with the Mobius chair, this combined power granted Wally West an ability interpreted as a means of repairing reality. Considering all of these feats together, Dr. Manhattan does not merely possess combat power at an extraordinarily high level. In terms of raw power, he is almost on a divine level. And now, let's directly compare and analyze the fight. This is one of the most unpredictable and complex battles imaginable. If this were simply a one-on-one physical contest, Superman Prime would win overwhelmingly. His strength is virtually limitless. Dr. Manhattan, although capable of enhancing his physical power, still could not match the strength of someone who has lifted an entire universe. However, Dr. Manhattan would never engage in a simple physical contest. He would use his matter manipulation abilities to neutralize his opponent. Could Dr. Manhattan manipulate the matter of Superman Prime? After millennia of absorbing solar energy, Superman Prime's body has become incredibly dense and is surrounded by a bioenergy field. But it is still composed of matter. In theory, Dr. Manhattan can decompose any form of matter. However, Superman Prime's bioenergy field could function as a shield against quantum-level manipulation, similar to the way it protects him from magic or other forms of energy. However, Dr. Manhattan can see the future. He knows Superman Prime's every move in advance. But can he truly anticipate everything? Dr. Manhattan's omniscience is not absolute. He has admitted that he cannot foresee everything, especially when interference comes from entities that transcend his timeline. Superman Prime, with his indomitable will and the nature of a true hero, could make choices that Dr. Manhattan cannot anticipate. Furthermore, can Dr. Manhattan's omniscience predict the actions of an entity whose power transcends even the concepts of space and time? Superman Prime has one potential weakness. His soul is too pure. He does not want to hurt anyone, and he will always try to find a peaceful solution. Dr. Manhattan could exploit this by creating difficult dilemmas, illusions, or even threatening innocent beings to make Superman Prime hesitate. However, Superman Prime also has a strength. He has no darkness within him. Dr. Manhattan, with his detached nature, could be caught off guard by Superman Prime's compassion and willingness to sacrifice himself, concepts that he lost long ago. The fight. Superman Prime, moving at speeds far beyond light, would rush toward Dr. Manhattan and throw a punch. But Dr. Manhattan has already seen it coming. He would dissolve into billions of particles, teleport behind Superman Prime, and attempt to decompose his body through quantum power. Superman Prime, with his cosmic reflexes and senses, would detect the alteration in the structure of his own matter and immediately generate a solar energy field to repel the intrusion. The battle would become a relentless chase and counterattack between two seemingly omnipotent entities. Dr. Manhattan would constantly change his tactics, creating countless duplicates, teleporting across dimensions, and using quantum power to attack Superman Prime from every direction. Superman Prime, with his immense strength and speed, would destroy the duplicates, withstand the attacks, and continue pursuing him. Ultimately, the nature of the battle would be decided by willpower. Dr. Manhattan, with his omniscience, would attempt to find a timeline in which he wins. But Superman Prime, with his indomitable will and limitless power, could create a new timeline, a possibility that Dr. Manhattan could not anticipate. Superman Prime would not fight with muscle alone. He would fight with hope and determination, the very qualities that Dr. Manhattan lost long ago. At the decisive moment, Superman Prime would prove that true power does not lie in knowledge or dominion over matter, but in will and spirit. He would break through the limits that Dr. Manhattan believed to be immutable and claim victory through the very nature of a hero. This would be an extremely close and highly debatable victory for Superman Prime. The final result is the victory of hope over inevitability, of will over omniscience. Superman Prime, with all of his power and virtues, would be the last one standing. He would not destroy Dr. Manhattan, because he is not a destroyer.
And that concludes our analysis of the battle between the Ultimate Savior and the Quantum God. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment below. Do you side with the power of the sun and unbreakable will, or the power of the quantum and omniscience? If you enjoy epic battles where the most powerful entities from different universes clash, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming multiversal battles. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much.